This story is inspired by real cases, where people went to a hospital to survive and never came back, not because their bodies failed, but because someone decided they were not worth saving. They called him the miracle doctor on TV. Dr. Adrian Hale, head of a famous private clinic. White coat, perfect smile, perfect statistics. On paper, he was a hero. Magazines loved him. Rich families loved him. The system loved him. I met him. On a piece of paper. A death certificate. My brother's. He was 32. He worked 2 jobs. He collapsed at home one night, holding his chest. They took him to the nearest clinic. To Dr. Hale's clinic. Receptionist. No insurance? We're very full tonight. You will have to wait. So they waited. He didn't. Cause of death. Heart failure. Nothing more could be done. Inner voice, are you sure? I looked at the certificate again. The time of arrival. The time of death. Between those lines, there was a gap. Hours. Hours when he wasn't dead. He was just ignored. At first, my family blamed fate. Bad luck. Those soft words people use when they're afraid to blame a human being. But then I started hearing other stories. A woman whose mother sat on a cold plastic chair in a hallway, while other patients were rushed past her. A teenage boy with a treatable infection, left in a waiting room too long, because important clients were coming. Every story had the same center of gravity. No insurance, no money, no influence, and one name, Dr. Adrian Hale, the miracle doctor, who chose who deserved his time. Officially, nothing was wrong. Clinic spokesperson, we follow protocol. Doctor, I did everything I could. Investigation said, there is no proof of intention. No proof. Men like him don't need to kill anyone with their hands. They simply stand still, look away, and let time do the work. I wasn't looking for legal proof. I was looking for a pattern. Over 2 years, 11 people died after being admitted to his clinic. 11. All of them had something in common. No insurance, no extra money, no status. Many of them were moved to observation rooms and left there while the doctor attended, paying clients. The files told their last hours in cold, simple language. Patient waiting, patient stable, patient unresponsive, stable, unresponsive, dead. They died in the space between waiting and not important enough. I went to the clinic one night, pretending to be a relative. I wanted to see him work. He was charming. He laughed with nurses. He shook hands with rich families. He took selfies with survivors. He walked past the waiting area without really looking at it. To him, those people weren't part of his world. Eventually, a journalist wrote an article about the pattern of deaths. For a moment, it looked like something might change. There were protests, cameras, angry interviews. The medical board opened an investigation. Old files were reviewed. Lawyers said long, complicated words. Then, like always, the noise faded. Medical board, there is not enough evidence of deliberate harm. Clinic, they were already too sick. Court, the doctor cannot be held responsible for every death. Case closed. Again, Adrian Hale went back to work. The waiting room stayed full. That was the night I understood. The system wasn't failing by accident. It was built this way, built to protect clean hands, no matter how dirty the decisions behind them are. If the system refused to stop him, I would. But killing him would be too simple, too quick. Inner voice, he doesn't fear death. He fears losing control. I wanted him to feel what it's like to watch a life fade and be unable to do anything. So I started gathering evidence, not for a courtroom, for him. I recorded families who had lost someone in that clinic. I collected documents, shift records, schedules, security footage. No one had time to review. I built a file, a real one, thick, heavy. One rainy night, I waited in the clinic's parking lot. Doctors like back doors. Fewer people, fewer questions. He stepped outside alone, checking his phone, already thinking about his next day, his next patient, his next payment. Me, Dr. Hale. He looked up, annoyed at first, then professional. Doctor, do you have an appointment? Me, yes. For a man you already killed. He smiled politely. He thought I was crazy, until I said my brother's name. For less than a second, his mask cracked. He didn't remember the face, only the case, only the data. He remembered the chance to act, that he decided not to take. I handed him the envelope. Me, every patient you left behind is in there. Read it. Doctor, I'm not going to read lies. Me, Good. Then maybe you'll listen instead. The lights in the parking lot went out. Security cameras lost feed for exactly 7 minutes. When they came back, Dr. Hale was on the ground. No broken bones. No bleeding. Just one thing. No one could explain. His right hand, the hand he used to operate, was shaking uncontrollably. The neurologist later called it sudden nerve damage. It wouldn't kill him. It wouldn't completely cripple him. But it would make surgery dangerous. Too dangerous. I didn't need to threaten him. His own body did that for me. 2 weeks later, he resigned from surgery. Officially. Health reasons. He moved to a smaller place, far from here, and spent his days doing paperwork. People said, what a waste of talent. Inner voice, a waste of talent, or a life saved from his talent. A month after that, a folder appeared at a journalist's door. Inside were copies of death records, shift schedules, audio recordings of grieving families, and a letter. No name, just one line. If you want to know who decides who lives and who dies in this city, start here. The new article went viral. This time, the miracle in his name meant something else. He wasn't arrested. He wasn't in prison. But when people saw him in the street, they crossed to the other side. They knew. Maybe you think this isn't justice. Maybe you think he should be behind bars. Maybe you're right. But tell me, how many more would have died while we waited for a system that never punishes men like him? Sometimes, the only justice you can get is to take their power away. This was Vigilante Case, File 02. Right now, somewhere, another person in a white coat is deciding who is worth saving and who can be ignored. And somewhere in this city, I am reading their names. One of them will be my next file.